They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Alright guys, I have a pretty big announcement in that I understand we have not done a video where I featured some rosters, where I went through, created some trades, told you who to add and drop for a while now. So the video tomorrow, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be going through and doing just that. I'm going to try to get like 3 to 5 rosters where I can just put the screenshot on the screen and go through and give you my exact thought process on what we would want to do with those rosters and players I would possibly want to sell, players I'd possibly want to target. So if you want your roster included, please, I need screenshots, and obviously you can't include them in the comment section of the video, but what you can do is go over to Twitter. I will leave my Twitter on the screen, and I'm going to be sending out a tweet saying, hey, send me screenshots of your roster, and that's where I'm going to be getting it from. So if you're watching this, that tweet should already be sent out there. I'll probably record the video with that tweet once I get, I'll say probably about 10 replies or so, even if we get there, and then I'll just pick them randomly. So please go out there, and of course, I'm sorry if I'm unable to get to your team, but during those premieres, I should be able to answer as many questions as possible. So just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have that bell hit next to the subscribe button. That way you can come out to those live premieres. You can talk with me, you can ask questions, you can tell me about your team, and it's been a ton of fun so far. But anyway, what we are going to be doing in this video is we are going to be going through and looking some of the most added players in fantasy basketball since the All-Star break. And our first player is going to be playing for the Boston Celtics, and this is Robert Williams. Okay, so Robert Williams is only available in about half of leagues right now. Right now, the official number is he is owned in about 51% of those leagues. So it's literally a coin flip on if he's going to be on your waiver wire or not. And I understand, so this is not going to help everyone with this call. But I am going to get to some very deep players at the end of the video. Some guys that are owned less than 5%. Some guys that are just complete long shots. So if you play in a deeper format, please just stick with me. And I know we talk about wanting category players or point league players all the time. And Robert Williams is a little bit of an intriguing situation where we can't say if he's specifically going to be someone we want in a category league versus a points league, because you go across the board and his field goal percentage, elite. I know he's not shooting a ton of balls over the past 14 days. So the past 8 games, he's averaging 5.5 field goal attempts a game, which is good for about 4 makes and 71% field goal percentage. But for those same category formats, the free throws aren't there. I mean, it's not going to kill you because he's only getting to the line about twice a game. So he's shooting about 60% from the free throw line, and obviously Robert Williams is not going to be someone you're expecting to give you any three-point production. But what we like with Robert Williams is, so far, with only 18 minutes a game over his past 8, he has had a very nice rebound-a-minute ratio where he's averaging 7.5 rebounds right now with only 19 minutes a game. So if we see this number possibly go up to 20, I mean, this rebound number could go, 30. This rebound number could possibly go up to 12, 13. And something else that we really like is the fact that with his blocks, he is coming in with an insane clip where he is averaging 2.5 blocks a game. And I understand that number isn't by any means elite unless you take into the fact that it's with 19 minutes a game and it's a small sample, so some of these things are going to change. But still, Robert Williams, I mean, if he continues to see more and more minutes in the rotation, I think that he could turn himself into a consistent impact for you regardless of whatever format you play in. Okay, so now our next player we are going to be talking about is someone I don't care about, and the reason I'm bringing him up is because the premiere this morning, people were asking me, Mason, what are we doing with Blake Griffin? And my answer here is, obviously, if Blake Griffin is on your waiver wire, go pick him up. I don't see him being available on your waivers by the time you get to this video. But what we are going to be doing is we are going to be picking him up and trading him away right away for any marginal upgrade that you get. Please do not bother with Blake Griffin on your waivers unless you are willing to go out there and just ship him off. And mainly, I'm just talking to the current Blake Griffin owners right now. saying, hey, I understand. I mean, congrats for Blake Griffin getting himself out of quite possibly one of the worst situations in basketball with the Pistons to going over to, in my opinion, I kind of want to call the Nets the title favorite. I know that if you look at Vegas, it's still the Lakers, but I mean, this Nets team is so good. So great for Blake Griffin. But we go through and we go, okay, what's the upside here for Blake Griffin? What impact is he going to be making on this Nets roster? I understand that way back in the day, Blake Griffin was a man. He was an impact player, but now he can't move. I mean, he has no lateral mobility. He hasn't dunked the ball in like 2 years. So I'll say with Griffin, I know it's exciting. I am happy for him, but he's a defensive liability on a team that we know they desperately need defenders. And we have a quote from, I believe it was James Harden, who said that they are pretty much just wanting Blake Griffin to be a spot-up three-point shooter, someone that can facilitate the offense some and can also hit open threes. Well, to go along with this, we look at Blake Griffin's career three-point efficiency, and he's sitting around 33%. So we go, okay, on quite possibly the best offense that the NBA has ever seen, are they really going to be settling with a 33% three-point shooter for the end of their possession? I think that's worst case scenario. And also, if you have an offense that has Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, do you really want the ball in Blake Griffin's hands? I know Blake Griffin's nice to run with the screen game, but I don't think Blake Griffin really fits on this roster in the slightest. I can't see him really getting any significant minutes. So he's a fun player. I liked him a long time ago, but I don't see how he makes an impact in fantasy this year. All right, so now let's go over to Dallas, to someone who I actually think is going to be able to make an impact. And this is Jalen Brunson, who right now is rostered in about 33% of leagues. So 2 out of 3 of y'all should be able to go and pick him up. And right now, if we look at the past 2 weeks, so over the past 6 games for Jalen Brunson, he's actually up to 28 minutes a game. Now, obviously, this is going to be significant with someone you're getting from the waiver wire. And like I talked about earlier in the video, where we go through and we go, okay, some players we want in category formats, some players we want in point leagues. Jalen Brunson, I think we want him in those category formats because you look across, you look at his efficiency, and 76% from the line. So not going to kill you, but not going to help you there. But his field goal percentage over the past 6 games is up at 58%. Now, no, I'm not expecting it to stay here, but still, that's a number that is going to help you in that category. And he's making over 2 3-point shots a game currently, 17 points, and he's up at 5 rebounds. The assists aren't where you would want them to be, hovering around 2, but that's why he's on the waiver wire. And he's giving you some steals. So Jalen Brunson, yes, you could pick him up in a points format, but I think possibly you already have someone better on your bench right now where maybe it doesn't make a ton of sense to go out there and get Jalen Brunson, but specifically for those category leagues where he's going to be helping you in field goal percentage and not hurting you really anywhere, I think that's where we would look to prioritize Jalen Brunson. All right, so now let's get into some of these other guys that are going to be a little bit deeper down, starting with D'Anthony Melton, who right now is only rostered in about 19% of leagues, so he's going to be available for the majority of y'all. And here, this is pretty much just a projection saying, is he going to be able to continue to increase his minutes? Because right now, if we look at the past 14 days, so the past 8 games for the Memphis Grizzlies, right now, he is averaging about 19 minutes a game, so he's just on that range of a player that's starting to get interesting. And you look across the board, and he's another one of these guys. I mean, great, nowhere, bad, also pretty much nowhere. I guess you could look at his rebounds, only 3.5, but he's at the guard position. What are you expecting? But if you go through and you look at the fact that he's playing only 19 minutes a game, and he's averaging over a steal and a half, now, that is going to be significant. If we could see Melton's minutes go up to just say 28, 29, and that steal and a half goes up to 2 steals, and then you see the assist go from 2.5 to possibly 3.3, the points up from about 10 to 14, and then the 3-point shots made over 2, that's where you go, okay, this is a player that I can start. This is a player that is going to be providing me value over replacement. But as it stands right now, maybe if you play in some deeper formats where you're 14, 16 team leagues, then yeah, D'Anthony Melton can slide in for you right away. But no, you're not picking up him to slide in for you right away. He's not going to be the equivalent to a Robert Williams that we talked about earlier. He's not going to be equivalent to a Jalen Brunson like we just got done talking about. But he's a little bit more of that long shot type player, just going, what can we have here for those deeper formats? All right, so now talking about deep formats, let's go for someone who's literally only going to be someone you want to pick up if you're playing in the deepest of leagues. He's only rostered in about 3% of leagues right now, so he's pretty much available in every single one because we can naturally assume that 3% of those leagues are probably dynasty leagues, probably extremely, extremely deep leagues. But here with Thibault, I mean, this is another player that it's simply going, okay, I mean, he's playing in a rotation that is nice. I mean, the rotation is going to be a little bit shaky if they decide to sit Joel Embiid down the stretch. We know he's playing wing, so he's not exactly playing that same position as Joel Embiid. But if we start to see games where Embiid's going to miss, maybe we just see the usage rate go up a little bit more for their wings. And I mean, right now, I guess the worst case scenario, you could say, okay, hey, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are probably going to miss a game due to their contact tracing. So maybe you only get one game out of him. But this is another player that's averaging 19 minutes a game and over a steal a game at this point. So pretty much that's what you're picking him up for. You're going, okay, maybe if he gets the bump up in minutes, maybe you can start him for 1 to 2 games. And if he's going to see 30 minutes in a night, and you don't have Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid in this rotation, then you could see Thibault bumping his shot attempts up significantly because right now over the past 14, I mean, he is pretty much non-existent with his usage in the offense, but he's pretty much just someone that you're going to be betting on with steals and someone that outside of that you're not interested in. So Matisse Thybulle, if you play in that extremely, extremely deep format, and you need someone to start with possibly both Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons missing some games due to COVID tracing, then I think that's where he becomes interesting. Now, thank you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If I missed out on someone that you think is an intriguing pickup, I'm sure that we already talked about it during the premiere in the live chat, but please go down to the comment section below. That way, anybody who is unable to make the premiere was able to read your opinion because like I say this all the time, your opinion is worth just as much as mine, if not more, and I stand by that. There's a reason. We are the flock. We are all working together. So if you have any guys that you think are a little bit under the radar, any guys that could be intriguing, please go down to the comment section and let everyone else know. Now, thank you guys. Have a great day. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all with the video tomorrow.